And a reminder that we are using risk capital we can afford to lose if we are trading. It's an educational room trying to help traders understand how markets really move. And after 25 years, I am still learning how it moves. You wake up and you see some of these crazy moves and say, what happened? And so first things first, try to figure out, is there a legitimate play that makes sense? Work around news, try to do the best you can with the swings, and then take something out of the swings. And really, the larger the swing, the more room there is for us to play, and that works to our advantage when we're in the right direction with a trailer, and works against us if we're undisciplined and cannot take stop outs. So it's a tough market to trade, especially for undisciplined traders. Okay, I had suggested that we were, shorts, make sure you're paid coming into the open, that we should get a pushback from the highs to the lows, and we don't know, but let's use 42 as our aggressive support and stop for profit taking from that great swing. So 2-way day. We'd also suggested make sure you are paid coming into the 54, the breakdown, and then for sure coming into that 56, 75, 57 area. And the reason, because that was the scene of the crime. And if we're looking at the metrics here, this is a halfway back trade at 55, 55 and a half. So we get a 50 back, and then we get another 50 back, right back here to 55, where I think you should be paid coming into 54 to 57. And truthfully, doesn't have to stop there. The market has been on steroids. So anybody that has a trailer and you want to keep it a couple minutes, that's up to you. Hardest thing to do is to understand where you have to just peel out and say reverse. But nothing says you have to reverse. You can keep a trailer as long as you're not stopped out and see if it can work a little more. So I said, first things first, this is the range that we need to get resolved. And I've got the half gap right back here, just above these highs. 44.75, right in here. We're going to call it 45. So this is a trend trade with the last couple of days, and this is a trend trade second thrust, and it's either going to be for retest failure or new high. If it fails, it does not have to come back and take everything out, but it is a sign that there are profits being taken. So I think two-way trading makes sense for IB. We're going to use this 62 as our aggressive resistance zone. And truthfully, if the shorts cannot contain the 57, tells me they're probably a little stronger than I would think. And my guess is we've got rising moving averages coming up. So it's going to be very hard to just get a straight shot plunge. And I said that earlier. So don't beat your brains out trying to think of too much in any one swing. We're going to use small rotational swings and try to figure this thing out as the market gives us more information. Right now, all we know is the high is the resistance, and we know that this low is the support. And I'd said make sure we understand today that yesterday's high we've taken out, and shorts are trapped as long as we're above that and can be squeezed. So I think we're going to get at least a couple of head fakes today, especially later. But we're so far above the moving averages, we need a little bit of time to consolidate at least and wait for them to catch up. All right, that 56, 57 area is held. That's a lucky guess. I'm going to call it an educated guess because I remembered where the scene of the crime was. I also know where the low is. That's a 10-point type trade. So someone wants profits. Anybody gets back in here under 50 to like the 48s to 50, got to be paid for sure. Because we're going to get some jockeying back and forth. And I've suggested in these 10-point swings, if you can grab 3 or 4 points out of them, be happy. And we're waiting for some moving averages to start to catch up. That's part of the challenge. Don't think this is just close your eyes and short type day. So I like to see that type of a stall. And then if we can get past the middle, then we know a big boy is probably in the trade. And again, that's fighting the push from below. So don't think that this is just close your eyes and, easy to just knock out all these stops. It's going to take several rotations. And even then, we're going to get some head fakes. We've got multiple gaps up. And for me, that's a signal to think a little bit more conservatively when you get these huge gaps up. So I prefer, despite the fact that I'm fighting the trend, I think there's better odds for trailers initially to come back and try to find support. And you don't beat your brains out if you can't break the lows, and if you can't get back to the targets you're looking for. Okay, fine. Take my stop out, and I'll give you my finger, but I'm not going to give you my whole arm or my head or my whole body. And sometimes traders don't even want to participate on this type of a day. They want to say, okay, it's too crazy for me. I don't even want to trade. But you can at least see the ranges that make sense today that we've talked about. And anybody who is shorted, this is the second entry short. Stops down. Still trading the range. And I've got 44.75 half gap, and I'm going to call that as support till broken. Got to break it. We get through it and come back down, test the middle of the bar, then we've got the gap. And hit and run is advised. Don't think you're going to do it all in one swing. Make sure you're paid coming into that 48. Boys held it here earlier, right where they wanted to. But we've also been able to stall, and the generals have also evened it up by coming back down for a double bottom test. This does not mean that the high is in yet for the day. Only time will tell. Two-way trade today. Anything that my old rule of thumb used to be, anything that you buy ahead of the gap is an aggressive trade. Kind of still is, but I've softened that rule to say anything you buy above the half gap, because the bots have just been so aggressive. So consider yourself an aggressive trader anytime that you are buying in the middle and near that half gap idea at 45, 44.75. Great trade, shorts. Is against the trend, but a common sense trade. Said I'd like to see it stall by 57 for better odds. And all we're thinking is small hit and run type trades to put something in our pocket. You don't need anything more than this one trade. And you can walk away and spend the rest of your day doing whatever you want. Need one of these trades, especially if you have a trailer and you can work a trailer for a few more. Thank you, Zeke. Almost 10 o'clock. Factory orders. Sidelines. Anybody that's been trading sidelines. Thank you, Zeke.